uh, I would like, I'm going to let Megan go ahead and just kind of watch the chat. So if there's something like a burning question that you have, something that you really want to make sure you get answered before you get off this call today, I want you to go ahead and drop it into the chat. Um, and I think the next thing, what we would like to do is we'd like to hear from just maybe two of you about what was it that made you say yes to MWR Life. Let's start with kind of, what made you say yes and what are you hoping this business will do for you? Who wants to start out?
I know we've got a few people who joined just this weekend. So, like Michelle, Angela, Jeanette. Is it Jeanette? I hope I'm saying it right. Tina, Kara, Joanne.
Yeah, I just joined, and what enticed me is like it was, I guess everything's laid out for you. Because like I listened to the Zoom and it's like this is something that would work for me. So I know people that it would work for, if not just for not at least I know a lot for the membership, but you never know someone's circumstance that they might want to earn a little extra money too.
All right. And Tina, so
Yeah.
the fact everything is all in place, that is good. What are you hoping it's going to do for you? What do you want this business to do for you?
What I would like it to do for me is to get that income that I've been seeking to where I can stay on my own, get me out of housing, get me off of disability so that I can it's always been my dream to get off of disability. And it's like, okay, so I'm on food stamps too, and I don't get a whole lot to cover the whole month, but I get some, and that little bit helps. But it's like it's kind of like I'm not self-sustaining,
Mhm.
and excuse me, working hard to get out of that scarcity mindset,
Got
and it seems like a better fit for me than what I was doing, even though I'll probably still do some of that, but you know what I'm saying.
nice.
Just like a better fit.
Okay. All right. Who else would like to share? Let's give it up for Tina. Thank you, Tina, for putting that out there. Always good. Who else?
So, one of the things that caught my eye was we're taking trips anyway. So this is money I'm spending anyway. And then I know people that, want to take trips and, if this can save all of us money, then why not? And, it just seemed like a really easy business plan, which I've been in, I know some of you guys have been in the like health and wellness industry is hard because not everybody wants to take care of their health. But people will always make time for um, gifts or their um, travel, just things like that, and making it more reachable for people who can't afford to take a trip.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then,
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
yeah, so the one thing, my first goal, I'm trying to set down goals, is I'd like to be able to make enough money to pay for half my granddaughter's private school because I'd like to keep her there, and at this point, I might not be able to.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, guys, Michelle, let's give it up for Michelle. Thanks for sharing. So, one of the things that we'll go over briefly today is in the boards, there is an onboarding conversation. And the way that I train onboarding is I obviously am talking to you guys about onboarding, right? So, here's a couple things you want to make sure that you know. But because we're recruiting um, quite a bit here, I'm also speaking to you in terms of when you bring someone on. So you're going to want to do the same things with the next person that you're doing yourself. So I commend you all for being here. And for those of you that are watching the replay, good job. This is going to help you with a firm foundation of how to get off to a successful start and get into action and money making right away. So what I'm going to do right now is just take you from very step one. So if you're taking notes, that's great. I always think pen to paper helps really put it in the brain, and then you can go back and review it. But the first thing that I want you guys to know is um, we're going to talk a little bit today about the heart. So, how to evoke the heart, not only with yourselves, but with others that are joining you, and how to really operate also from the head. And what we know, Megan and I, and several others of you, I'm sure, on here, is when you blend heart and head, you have the advantage. If we're just staying in the heart, we're going to miss a lot of the, action and details. If we're just staying in the head, we're going to miss connection and building relationships. So the idea ultimately is to blend heart and head. And by nature, each one of you are stronger in a certain area, heart or head. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everything is perfect. But what we do want to make sure that we do is blend the two so that you have more success. Okay. So the first thing when you join or when someone joins you is we want to immediately add them to the team chat. Okay, so that's to the High Flyers team chat. And in the team chat, you're going to notice that that is where you'll get kind of more up to the minute information. So you can, scroll through there and see what the latest things are that have transpired, but you can also ask questions in there. And I have to commend this team so far because there are people in there already that are answering questions that have been super helpful to make everybody feel welcome. I love that, this group has immediately got on, and when they see a graphic posted, they're welcoming people. Just a simple welcome is amazing. But our goal, Megan and mine, is to make everybody feel special and important. We don't want anybody to feel left out, and yet we know in a business like this, because you are working from home, it can be sometimes isolating. So the chat is where you're going to keep community, and of course these live training calls. Okay, if you can make the calls live, I always think it's better. If you can't, schedule time to watch the replays, especially after you've been on onboarding. The most important calls that you'll want to be on are the all team call, which is tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific. I'm not going to go through all the time zones. You guys can figure it out on the calendar. And then let's see here. What am I talking about? 9 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. And uh, let me just double check. Oh, and the passports to profits. Okay. I notice that many people keep getting on those over and over because that's where you're really learning, about the opportunity, about the comp plan, about the company, and all that. So those are really important that you're utilizing those. Um, okay, I'm gonna just do a share screen here real quick. I don't know
Where
what
is
I
the passports to profits? Is that
um
one of the boards?
those are the opportunity calls that are live. This week they'll be Tuesday and Thursday, and then I'm gonna run through the boards to show you where the recorded uh calls are. Okay. So let's get down here to High Flyers. So when you first join, most likely your sponsor sent you this welcome start here, or they may have sent you the entire boards. It probably depends. But where we want you to start is if you're looking at the boards, and again, you see here, you can have the mobile view or the full view. If you're on your laptop, but you'll click start here and then click again start here. Okay. So really important that you fill out this form. This helps you get into our lead system and into our automations. And this way you'll be getting reminders and whatnot. So this is step one, is to fill out this form. Step two is to get into the schools. That is where the training modules are located. And even though Megan and I provide training, and some of the other leaders here will be leading Passports to Profits and training, we want to keep everybody on the same page. And, especially those first three modules so that we're duplicating. Are you guys with me? Everybody know duplicating? Drop a 1 in the comments if that makes sense to you. I just want to see who's listening. No. I see no ones. No, I'm just kidding. I see them. Okay. All right. And then you want to start inviting to the next live presentation. Now, I want to make sure that we're really clear. If you guys have a hot lead today, obviously you probably don't want to wait till tomorrow at 5 Pacific, right? So you would then send them a recording. I'll show you where those recordings are in just a moment. But the first recording that Megan and I suggest is that you use the company onboarding. And, we do provide other options for you in there. There is a 12-minute video that we think is pretty good, but I just want you guys to know that as a team, we're just the first and foremost onboard or presentation that you want to share is the company video. And the reason why is because we already know that it has converted the best of any video. Okay. It's converted the best of any video. And if you haven't watched it, I would suggest you watch it, before you start sending it. Okay, so once these three things are done, this should be done within your first 24 hours. And typically what we found is it takes a little less than an hour to do these things right here. Then you're ready to go into the rest of the boards. And you'll notice here, this will talk about your first goal.
Down.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to clarify because I don't want people to put that off. It only takes about 2 minutes to do the first two steps. The form is
Oh yeah,
very
they can do it
simple.
now.
What you meant an hour was probably like going
The
through the
whole thing.
videos.
The
Going
whole
through the
thing.
videos. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So if you guys actually haven't done step 1 and step 2, I would say do that right now while you're on the call. Okay? Step 1 and step 2. Yeah. Thanks, Megan. Okay, and then you'll see here, I'm not going to go through all of this because some of this stuff is very self-explanatory, but here are the apps that you'll want to download on your phone. You'll see here, join these Facebook groups, okay? And my thing is, I don't like people to get overwhelmed in the groups and in the chats. So just be sure that you are connected first and foremost to our chat and our trainings. That's the number one thing. Okay. And if, getting in too many groups or something like that overwhelms you, don't worry about it yet. It's not that important yet. Okay, I'm going to come through and just explain. I'm going to go next to what's happening. Okay, so you'll notice this calendar is the weekly calendar. We post it and pin it. Usually it's by Sunday. So we don't do it too far in advance. But this is for the whole week of what you can expect. And you'll notice that it starts out over here on Monday. Monday night, we are driving people to Jen Perga's all team call. You'll notice our all team call is Tuesday morning. There's a corporate call. Okay, you'll see these passports to profits, which are the business overviews. Wednesday night is a all team overview from Jen Perga, and then Friday is typically our onboarding. But if we continue to have influx of people joining, we'll put an impromptu onboarding. And we may be doing something this Saturday, like an all team thing, but we haven't determined that yet. So guys, we don't want to, we understand that there's a lot of meetings going on right now. And like I said, the most important call that you can attend is the all team call on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific, and driving people to those passports to profits calls. Those are the most important. Okay. But I will say this, the most successful people are on the calls and they do get trained up. All right. Next that I want to show you is the business presentation. So what
Joan,
you're,
I was going to add for the new people, just so they know, y'all, I've been on board for like 5 weeks and I still jump on these because sometimes there's like questions that people are asking me or I just can't remember and I just listen. I always get new information. So don't try to jump on every single call, but if you can in the beginning, it's super helpful, especially if you're trying to recruit.
yeah, thanks, Lori. Yeah, I mean, you guys, part of the reason why I teach live calls is to reinforce and train myself. So anytime you can be on, it's a good idea. But we want to make sure that you're not just doing training rather than working, right? Rather than taking action and reach outs and stuff like that. Okay, so what you're going to see here is Megan, and here's the corporate presentation right here. So right now we've just got really two presentations in here that we want you to share. There are some other presentations in here as well. Okay, but for right now, let's just focus on not getting too caught up with all the different things. What you're going to see right here is a travel advantage overview. So this walks through the platform. Okay. And then this is a 12-minute video that we think is really good as well to share. What we know is that there will be other things that come up. Okay. Meaning there might be another video that you really like or this or that. I do want you to know that although we think the 12-minute video, it's a good one to share, but it kind of wets people's whistle. I just want you to remember this corporate one is really a little bit more thorough and it's still under 30 minutes. Okay. You can just poke around through here. There's also a slide deck. So this is the slide deck that we use on the presentations. If you're familiar with Canva, the thing I like about this is you can pull up parts of the comp plan, to go over it with someone in the slide deck, or just even study it yourself. You can, use this slide deck even if you have someone one-on-one. Okay. So we know that that might not be today you'll start doing that, but we just want to make sure that we provide that. Okay. All right, let's go back into here you are going to find, and I'm not going to go through social media. Actually, Megan is going to do that. So I'm going to bypass that. The links that you might need. So here's the different links. When somebody wonders, how do I sign up my business builder? That's this here, or wait a minute, is it that? No, this is no, I gotta see what that is even. No, that's not. Okay. Anyway, here's your links. This is to the website, this is to the Travel Advantage platform, and then this is to your back office. But I want to make sure that you guys know there's two different links. So when you signed up, you got an email that gives you your website. It's the backslash, and then it could be like, Lori Kane, or maybe it's black backslash you did travel is fun, or whatever it is. That's where you sign up the business builders. If you go into the Travel Advantage platform, and go down to well, let me just show you. Go down to website. Oh, that's not it. Let's see here. Go to account. All right, so you're in your account. If you go down here to website, I just want you to see this is an easy way. Here's the membership. Okay, so this is an easy way for you to you can just copy and paste this. I would put this, I like to do it just in my boards or somewhere. So I have both the customer membership as well as the business membership. Okay. All right, let's go back to boards. Okay. Um, Team training and resources. Okay. So we've got a handful of team trainings and resources here. I do want you to see this onboarding conversation, and I'm just going to run through this briefly. This is something that if it was me, I would probably print out or I would have opened and I would just follow along. It also is training you how to set up your new person for success. So you're going to get them to this onboarding call, but then you're going to want to take 15 or 20 minutes with them to just have a conversation and connect and understand more about what they want and why they're in the business. And here's some questions to help you go deeper with them. What we find is when people have a real connection to why they're doing the business and what they want, and that clarity, they're more likely to stick with the business and also to stick with the business through ups and downs. Because just like anything, right? We sometimes have good days and sometimes we have days where we wish we were just going to go to bed. So we want to make sure that, people get really clear on why they're here, and so that the littlest rock in the boat doesn't knock them off the boat, if that makes sense. Okay, then we go into exploring your goals and your vision, what it is that you really want. And I think it's important that we think about, the first 90 days in a business is really important that you just stay committed, that you stay the course, and that you do all that is suggested. I want you guys to know back in the day when I first started my business in 2001, I made a commitment to myself because I was in a big amount of fear that I would do whatever they told me for 90 days, and then I would decide if this was something I wanted to build further. Okay, 90 days is really what we suggest to really start seeing results. Now, we're not saying that you're not going to make a sale or recruit someone tomorrow. You probably will, or maybe you already have. But you also want to give yourself some grace when you're learning the skills and when you're having conversations that you otherwise haven't had before. We have to take time and give ourselves some grace and know that we're also practicing and learning along the way. If you are somebody that is a builder, which I'm going to assume the majority of you are, figure out how much money you want to make each month in those first 30, 60, and 90 days that would make it worthwhile to you, and set the goal to achieve silver in your first 2 weeks. Okay, and what silver looks like is it's basically 3 members. So that would be 3 business builders or customers. And one of those 3 members, you could have 2 and they could recruit 1, but we just say get 3 members. Okay. That is your first stop at silver. That is where your monthly dues get auto-financed. And literally, it's getting paid for itself by your rank of silver. All right. And then the third thing is to uncover that commitment level. And I think this is really important that you do it for yourself, but I also think it's just as important if you understand what somebody else on your team wants. In other words, if they're only willing, or available to work for, 30 minutes a day or 1 hour a day, you're going to have to get a little bit more tighter and concise about what they're doing and also realistic about the money. You're probably not going to make 10 grand a month doing an hour a day, things like that. Okay. But I do, again, I think it's so much easier when you have this 20 or, minute so conversation with somebody, because then you know how to help them get what you want. So when your sponsor says to you, "Hey, let's set up a time to chat, let's go over this," you can just go over it together. And it's all right here. So you don't need to be a pro to do this. All right, so if you haven't done these things, you can start working on it as well with yourself. And you can also let your sponsor know too, like, "Hey, I'm ready to go over this," if they haven't gotten with you immediately yet. Um, there's some notes in here, so I'm just going to let you kind of go through this. We also have a builder strategy. This really can help you and support you to get a framework, really, of how the flow goes. Okay. Now, I know, guys, this is a lot of information right at first. So, um, if you do have any trouble, like for example, there was a note in the boards today about somebody with an address situation. Okay, best thing to do is either first ask your upline, "Hey, what should I do if I'm in this scenario?" Okay, or Megan and I. And the second thing you should do is contact customer support. So here's all of the different supports that you might need. These are Travel Advantage, so these are more for the website. This is for the e-wallet. If you have any trouble with, like I said, something that has to do with your website or your business, you're going to want to support at mwrlife.com. And Megan, they've been responding within really pretty quickly. It says 3 business days, but their responses, I'd say, within probably 4 to 6 hours. Okay. All right. So the other thing I wanted to show you is there is an onboarding checklist. Maybe. Where is that? Do you know where that is, Megan? The onboarding checklist? I don't see it in here.
Scroll down. It's not that bottom one.
Is it?
I don't know. You were
Oh,
gonna
there
put
it is.
there.
Yeah, it is. Okay. So guys, here's also the onboarding checklist, and we may continue to add a few things to this, but if you just started right here, printed this out, and just gone and just begin checking this off, you're going to be in a really good place by the time you start here. Okay? All right, Megan, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk a little bit more about social media, launching, business launches, and also the Fast Start. I'll have you talk a little bit about that coupon and Fast Start.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, guys.
Awesome. All right. Well, you guys, so for those of you that have everybody here basically has a certain number of coupons that end tomorrow. So essentially, people can come in right now for Turbo for just $3.49. Okay. Now, you will not earn normal commissions on that or get points right away towards silver, but it'll allow them a chance, right? It's what a great time to launch your business. Through that, right? Somebody can come in at Turbo for $3.49 instead of $5.88. As an alternative, they can come in for just Elite at $99. However, what I want you to know is that 9% of people come in at turbo because that is where the real membership lies. Meaning, if you're here on elite, all good, just know that your travel advantage will not show the same discounts as the turbo membership, and you'll only get 120 points a month towards 240. You can upgrade in your back office. If you need help doing that, please reach out to one of us. You can upgrade to turbo at any point in time. But what a great way to start your business with coupons, right? That you can invite people to come along on board. Okay. So with our fast start, we have a fast start that basically says that when you bring in 2 people in your first 7 days, 2 memberships, you will earn an additional $150. Right now with the coupons, it's a little bit tricky because, Joan, you said they do not count towards the fast start unless they're a turbo. If they're a turbo, they do, right?
One came in on the 99 just as an elite. They are not eligible for the fast start.
Oh, gotcha.
If they came in as a on the 99 but upgraded to turbo, they are eligible for the fast start.
And what about if they enroll people with the membership, though?
What? The
Like,
membership.
yeah, if they with the coupon, if they enroll someone for 349 or 99, do those people go towards the fast start or no? That's what I
They
thought you
don't,
were saying.
yeah, they don't go till they count. So it's 30 days. So let me make sure that it's kind of confusing you guys, but the points, like, so I had Cami, I'm going to use you as an example. Cami technically would be silver right now if the points all came in as normal. Okay. But they can't technically, the company doesn't technically count that person as silver until the 30-day period when they get basically, you know, their travel dues for the 120 come due. So, in other words, if you brought someone in on a 99, whatever, October 30th, okay, you would not get the points until November 30th for silver. Does that make sense?
No, we're still trying to figure out if they count towards the fast track, though.
That's what
The
I'm
fast
telling
start.
you. They don't unless they upgrade to turbo.
But if they're turbo, they count. So if you go get 2 turbos at 349 this week, you get the $150.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
And hey, Joan, when I emailed or when I talked to them about that upgrade, like if it's done within, and I had asked you to, Megan, but I had clarified it and put it in the chat. But if they upgrade to turbo before that, within that 30 days before, then we do get credit, is what he said. We would get all the credit that was due. But
It has
so
to be
somebody was
the
asking,
third.
can't, yes, with
It
it
has,
has to be before that first billing. But like she was asking if somebody came in with Elite and then upgraded the next day. I think that all of that will count because it's within that same week. And so like one of mine, I still got the $40 and I don't know which bonus that it was. Megan's probably getting into that, but I got for the turbo, I got the $40 for her.
okay. And she came in at what?
Turbo. Or
Oh,
she came in at Elite, upgraded to Turbo the next day, and then the other one came in at Turbo, and I got 40 for each of them. Or it's
yeah.
showing.
So you'll get paid, but what we've been told is the points may not show up
They're
until,
not.
yeah,
Like it shows in my jackpot, but it says I have no enrolling points.
that's
If
right.
that makes sense. It's like in my tracking, but it says 0 on my landing.
Right. But you did get paid for the upgrade.
Correct.
Yeah.
I have
Okay.
But I don't know about Fast Track. Sorry, Megan, I'm not in there. But I do know that that customer service had said that something about it. If it's within that 30 days, you get what you're supposed to get on Turbo. not elite.
Yeah, you know what? I think let me just clarify again. I feel like I've done this like two or three times and then I'm like, wait a minute, I better just make sure because we have been told that they do count. But I don't know, unfortunately, when those points show up because they're not going to count
Well,
till
it
the
has
points show
nothing to
up.
do with the points though, Joan. The fast track, that like
It does though, actually. It does. But anyway,
Are you trying to talk about like when somebody brand new, so if I get somebody to sign up on my coupon code today, her name is Amanda. Amanda, does she start the fast track? Is that what you're asking for the next, like, will hers be the same where she has a few days to get two people or a week to get two people?
no, no, everyone is eligible for it when they join. What we're trying to figure out is what will qualify them to actually earn it. So, will Amanda count towards your fast track? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Your fast start, towards your fast start bonus. And I believe Jen said no unless they're turbo, but
Well,
yeah, I'm
that's,
sorry,
yeah,
guys.
that's what I've heard. It's no unless they're turbo, but I don't, we don't, anyway, I'm asking one more time. So we'll clarify again. At what point does that count is
Yeah.
really what we need to know. And I'm not exactly sure.
Where are the coupon codes going?
In the checkout page at the bottom, it'll say coupon code when they're signing up.
So if someone signs
Of
up,
my website that I sent them.
Mhm.
Okay.
if someone signs up for the 99 and they do the elite, you're saying they don't qualify for fast track,
No,
but they upgraded the next day to turbo. Does that put them in the qualification?
that's what we've been told.
So they would qualify. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, I'm gonna double check one more time because I don't know. I mean, I've been told, but I'm not, I guess what the thing that's a little bit confusing to me is we're not seeing it show up in the fast track yet because there hasn't really been enough time. So I just need to know, we'll need to know that. I just asked that question one more time. All right, Megan, keep going.
Okay. So, I just made sure to write down exactly what the two. I feel like there's two sides to the question, so I want to make sure to write down both sides. Okay, so we're gonna get the clarity, but it sounds like we'll know when Amanda signs up for Turbo today. So we'll know in your back office, Michelle will be our guinea pig. So tell Amanda we need her. Hey, I need a favor. Come join this travel club. um, Awesome. Okay, you guys, so I'm just going to run through the couple of the posts, you guys, and then we'll kind of wrap up here, unless you have any questions. Um, is it 30 days time frame to upgrade to turbo? So if you're an elite, nothing counts. Um, what do you mean nothing counts, Tina?
Well, I'm confused. I'm totally
Yeah.
confused because I signed up on Elite. Let's say this week, because I've got a countdown in my thing for Fast Track. So if I sign up two people before time, then I have to upgrade to Turbo in order for it to count.
Yeah, that's what we're working on figuring out.
So it doesn't count if they're not upgraded to Turbo, if they just go Elite. And it doesn't count if they get a membership.
We'll find out and clarify because I thought everybody got eligible, but Joan just said otherwise. But my bigger question is who actually.
And it counts towards
But
your auto financing, and you are even whether you're elite, you count. I'm sorry, I didn't meet your name. You qualify for it, but the fast track, I think, with the elite does not count for you. But she counts towards your auto financing and your points and all of that as soon as that first month
30
comes
days.
in.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. But
Yeah. The only
sorry.
thing, no, no, no. The only thing, Tina, that the elite doesn't qualify for is the fast track.
fast start.
Fast
I
track.
was I
All
was
right.
calling it fast track, and then you
Okay,
picked
we'll
it up,
let you
so I'm
keep
just
going.
correcting myself. Um, okay, so we will get the 100% clarity, you guys. Sorry about that. This coupon, I mean, it's really great that we have this available, but it's thrown up quite a bit of confusion. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen and go over just your social media posts. So, um, in social media, you guys, if you're signed up, make sure you're signed up, like Joan said, for our onboarding by going to that first welcome form. It's going to text you every day your first 5 days, but these are the initial posts always in here. Day one is all about priming the algorithm, doing engagement posts. So, like Joe just did a post. I know yours is like over 60 comments. Is that right? You said?
Yeah, excuse me, and counting. They keep coming in. It's funny how it just sparks outrage with people. You saw the one that I did about
Yeah.
changing the dates of the signs of the zodiac, and suddenly I'm not an Aquarius anymore. I'm a Capricorn. That's not
Yeah.
happening. Everyone's just like up in arms. You were. It's kind of funny to see. So it's definitely getting good engagement. But yeah, I guess kind of it keeps adding. But yeah, 60 plus comments. I did it last night probably like 6 or 6:30. 6:30 is when I actually posted it, right?
Yeah.
So in that time frame, it's definitely had, I mean, I think that's decent engagement.
Great. Great
Oh
job.
yeah,
Awesome.
thanks.
Love it. So the goal is that, you're getting people talking, you're telling the algorithm, hey, I create community, I am contributing engagement to the platform, show my content to more people. So that when you do the next post about, that you have coming about travel, more eyeballs are on your post because you want more visibility on your offer. That's the whole goal of the business, right? So day two is all about a little bit of piquing interest. There's some examples in here. Just kind of get people curious. There's a few options. But again, creating curiosity, getting people to raise their hands. Yes, I want to hear more. It might be like, I've got some exciting news. Who can't wait to hear? Sometimes people are going to can you guess what it is? They might go like, are you pregnant? Are you married? Are you this? Are you moving? And it's like, stay tuned. Day three is all about getting loud on social media now and creating a post that creates even more curiosity. So we have post examples in here, a story example, a real example that you can do, starting to share like slow drip the travel. And then your day four is kind of like a hard launch post. And these are launch curiosity posts that you can basically mold to be your own. Guys, I'm just going to put this out there. Anything you see Joan and I post or any of your leaders, like literally just copy it into a notepad and start to write over it, meaning rewrite it in your own words and tell your own story. Okay, use it as as a guide to crafting a similar post, right? If it's something that's getting engagement and working, feel free to do that. Okay. And the more you can story tell in here, the better as well. I want to get a little bit more training on that. But the more you can tell people why you really made this decision, right? If you've gone over to my or Joan's post from last week, we share our true, authentic story. Okay. And this creates relatability. So much more than just, yay, I'm pre-launch and travel. It's what were the thoughts going through your head prior to you saying yes? Was it, I don't know if I can pay my mortgage this month? I don't know. Was it, I want more time with family? Was it, I want to create something legacy for my grandchildren? Whatever it was, I know it might feel a little scary to put it out there, but people want to know your story because my guess is if you're feeling that way, other people are too. Okay? And that creates relatability. And people want to work with people, right? That they understand. Okay? So we shared about that a little bit on the power hour this morning. Okay, you guys? So I just want to open it up for a few minutes on any other additional questions that you guys might have. Maybe it's something around your engagement post or something that we went over. So let's see, who's got any questions? Joe, go ahead. Awesome.
Hey, okay. So just a couple of things. I had a prior conflict and just obviously joining now. Miss, you mentioned
Yeah.
coupon code. Is that anything I should be concerned about or aware of, or I can just watch the replay, but just heads up on
Yeah.
that.
So, yeah, no, it's okay. I'm going to rephrase what it is. So, the company released a promo, and it's really great, but it's also made quite a bit of confusion, but it ends tomorrow. So,
Oh,
everyone who's starting their business right now, you guys have, well, I thought it was 3, but Michelle said 6, and then I did see confirmation somewhere else too. So, a total of 6 coupons you can use to help people launch their membership business. So essentially, you can have somebody join as Turbo for $349 instead of $588. Okay.
where was
So
that when I joined yesterday?
yeah, well, they only gave us
From my
3.
perspective.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Sorry, guys. They put it in our launch week, literally, so they ran out right away.
Oh, gotcha.
But
Okay.
the good thing is that you have them to kickstart your business, which is pretty cool. So you can be today. You can invite to replays. You can have people watch a tool and then a tool. Don't be a fool. Use a tool and then put us in a 3-way chat. Our next big live presentation is tomorrow. We are changing, for those of you that have been around a little, to 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern. Tomorrow night, we'll have that. So you can be inviting live, but that doesn't mean that people can't see the information prior. So they can join for Turbo for $349 instead of $588. And when you have someone interested, Joe, I can help you on how to use that
Yeah, I
coupon.
see. Okay,
Yeah.
so like I just posted my first engagement last night, and then tonight I guess I'll do the one that's dropping the like the one you sent out, right? That's just hinting at the opportunity, not showing what it is. Um, and then I'm wondering if I should be inviting people to come check it out now, or should I follow the path of like, hey, listen, wait till Thursday when you do your actual launch post before you start inviting people? What's your thought on that? I guess it doesn't matter, right? If I just invite people.
Yeah, I would totally start inviting people right away for sure.
Okay.
As kind of like your pre-launch before you do your full-blown launch post,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The
Okay.
personal invite, especially with timing wise, it just kind of makes sense.
Okay. And then there was also other post ideas. There were more engagement type of posts that were in the board that are just like all these colorful ones that just are pretty much silly little engagement kinds of things. And, what kind of bacon are you? Or, those kinds of things that just get people, or create a debate. So I'm just wondering if, I mean, people spend all those times on those surveys, don't they? It's crazy what they'll do to find out
Yeah.
what kind of fruit they are. Anyway, I'm just wondering, should I just follow the text that you got that Joan is sending out, right? Saying, hey, here's what you post today, here's what for the rest of the week, and not go with anything else like that, or does it matter, or what are you thinking? I think it makes sense to
Yeah.
kind of follow this plan,
Yeah,
but
follow the sequence. Those
what
other
you're doing,
engagement posts are
yeah,
in there
right.
for like you can use those really once a week to throw up and continue to get more engagement.
Okay, that's what I was kind of wondering. Like, yeah, I was thinking like how many days do we need? Like, does it just you just do one post and all of a sudden Facebook is really, engaged with you and it's going to show it tomorrow automatically, or do you have to kind of prime it for a few days first? But it sounds like we just go forward and then maybe once a week do that, like you're saying, right? That's
Yeah,
the
yeah, a
strategy.
good
Okay.
24-hour post can do a lot. Also,
Yeah.
engaging tomorrow for a few minutes before you do that next post.
Say that again. Engaging tomorrow, where?
Like in the comments, in the
Oh,
feed, like with engaging with other people, sending some story replies, like going through the stories and engaging with people in the stories.
who've commented on my previous posts?
Into anybody. Just
Oh,
going
just
through your
anybody in.
story feed
Oh,
and just like
oh,
contributing conversations
I'm sorry.
and
Yeah.
comments to the platform in general,
Okay,
to
we
really
should be doing,
anybody.
yeah. Okay, guys, gotcha. I said we should be doing that every day, but that's going to help with our engagement too,
And
right? With the algorithm.
especially if you have like a dream list of people that you really are wanting to invite or haven't called yet or hope, start to engage, make it intentional to go engage with them for a few days leading up
Right.
to go engage on their posts and stuff.
Got it. Okay, cool. So I'll start engaging every day, and then I'll just keep posting in the ones that you guys send out. I think that'll work just great. Perfect. Okay, that's what I needed. Thank you so much.
Okay, you guys, thanks, Joe. Um,
Sure.
just so you guys know, we did just get word back. So if they came in on the coupon, they don't count as fast start. So basically, just an easy way to understand this is if there is no volume, in other words, the $99, just the business administration, right? Then they don't count on the fast start. If they upgrade to turbo, they still count points wise, but they don't count in the fast start. Does that make sense? Because you're not getting the points. Or wait a minute.
No, they don't count points.
Actually, they count in the fast start. But still, I want everybody to make sure you realize, because this has come up 2 or 3 times, like Cami, for example, the points don't come on the coupon for 30 days later. So if you made a rank advancement, you can see like I have my 3 people or I have my blank people for gold. It's they don't they it will come around next month. It's just unfortunately they don't get points on the onset. Does that make sense?
I want to ask a clarifying question.
Yeah.
So if I invite somebody tomorrow night, they join with the coupon Turbo for the coupon price. You're saying that that does count towards my fast track, but the points don't come for 30 days. Right, that correctly?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
He
It does
said,
count towards my fast
he's,
track bonus.
he
Yeah.
said that clearer than all this. We spent the whole call trying to figure this out. Joe, where have you been?
I know.
Well, it's just
Give me
because
PRPs.
it's confusing. I mean, the only way I can make sense of it in my mind is basically the $99 elite does not count. So there you go. For the fast start. But it will count toward your rank ups in
Yeah.
30 days.
So
All
again,
right.
What,
sit.
what, well, let's see. What about the upgrade? Like, let's say I decide to upgrade because,
So
you
Tina,
know,
the upgrades, I'm
what's
not
the,
trying to interrupt you, but I don't want to
that's
confuse
okay.
anybody.
Interrupt
The
me.
upgrades do count. So when they upgrade to turbo, it does count. Yeah. All right. I just don't want to confuse anybody any further.
Well, I think she was trying to ask if when she needs to upgrade because she put it in the chat. But
You can upgrade at any point. There is no time frame.
but if you're working towards your fast start and you enrolled someone and you want them to count, and here's the thing, like I mentioned earlier on this call, ideally you want everybody to be turbo because that's where they're going to see the most product benefit, right? Because the last thing I want is someone to come in and be like, oh, this thing isn't that good because they're on elite, they're looking at discounts, even though every presentation I feel like I mention it, then they're like, oh, well, it's only, but then little do they know that on turbo you have like, $300 savings rather than 30 or something. So all right, you guys. Well,
I
we are
have a quick
so. Oh,
question
yeah.
for
Mhm.
actually one of my new enrollees. She was texting me. She just couldn't jump on. She is talking to somebody, even though she's only been on a week. So y'all don't, somebody was saying, should we wait? No, go ahead and talk to your friends. Anyhow, she's got somebody that is interested. And the girl wanted to know if there was, she's watched all the videos that we've sent. She wanted, is there a video that maybe you have, Megan, that, kind of shows them how like the point like where the points go like that, what is the difference? It's loyalty points and then loyal or travel points, the cash back, and then there's also the our monthly 240 points or 120 points or whatever. Is there a video that you recommend? You can put it in the chat if so, but it's for a recruit that's wanting to know like about how those points look when you're
Yeah, we don't have a short video. I mean, it's in the
okay.
presentation. I mean,
Okay.
if you want to make one, that would be great. Just
Okay.
showing like screen share of like the difference between the loyalty points and the travel credits to have like a 1 minute video if people ask, that would be great.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
I love that idea.
Okay.
Just
Thanks.
volunteered you. Yeah.
Thanks. Okay.
Awesome.